Craig, no skipper out there today. What's the story there?
Yeah, Darcy won't play. Darcy's got a bit of an inner ear issue. Like, we're not sure exactly what it is. He's got a bit of vertigo symptoms at the moment. We've had scans. He's probably off to see specialists now to see what's going on there, but yeah, he won't play.
Could it be related to the knocky cots?
No, we've done the protocols a couple of times, or the assessment a couple of times. There's no issue there. It's just something that sort of lingered early in the week, and then it's not going away. So he hasn't had the ability to train, and we're getting to the bottom. Hopefully we'll find out today what's going on.
Was he pretty confronting those sorts of symptoms?
Yeah, I just chatted to him prior to training. He goes, it sort of comes on and goes away. It's sort of like, again, I haven't experienced vertigo, but he's using that language, and again, we don't know the answers yet. He's going to go have some tests, and we might be able to report something this afternoon.
What does that do to you, team-wise, structure-wise, defence-wise?
Yeah, well, lucky enough we've got a few players that we think we can bring in. We'll have to shuffle the decks a little bit. We have match committee this afternoon. It's whether we go tall or we go smaller, and our backline will work through that. But it leaves a hole.
Who stepped up? Obviously, you've got plenty of leaders, but we've seen how pivotal he's been, especially on these big stages. Who can step up?
Yeah. Again, with a mature list, there's plenty of opportunities. Pendles and Steele and Crispy, all these guys have had great experience, and Howie the like. So it won't be a matter of a lack of experience in terms of leadership. So I think we should be okay there.
It's a pretty imposing performance from Peter Wright against West Coast. He came back and straight away was the focal point. Does that sort of play into how you replace Darcy?
Yeah, well, he's obviously a weapon, and I've been watching the injury list and seeing how many weeks out, and I noticed that he was back last week. He's an important player. 200 centimetres is hard to defend, and obviously Billy Franfield will get a job now, and we'll have to support him in other ways.
You got your players kicking over, it was almost 2.5 metre men on the mark there when they were doing the set shot practice. Is there a thinking behind that?
Oh no, we've our goal kicking has been a bit of an issue at the start of the year. We've Scott Selwood's gone to work on that, and there's some areas that we think we can improve quickly. So we're putting our players through the paces, and it's been okay the last couple of weeks, but it's nothing you ever can say it's permanent. There's always the issues of conditions and the big crowd and all that other things. So it's still a work in progress.
We see a lot of atmosphere for an Anzac Day clash, but the theatre between these two teams, you saw last year Jamie Elliott's hanger, the draw, always brings a lively atmosphere. Yeah,
well, 30 years of the Anzac Day game is celebrated this game, and lucky enough to see Lee and Kevin Sheedy yesterday, and where it all started back in the 90s, and we've had some ding-dong battles, and the amazing thing about these games is that you don't have to worry about ladder position. You just know you're going to get a cracking game, and form sort of goes out the window, and it's a finals-like atmosphere, and the best team having a crack will get the job done mostly.
How does it compare to a grand final atmosphere?
Pretty close, pretty close. It's obviously the end game's a different result. You get 4 points, not silverware, but sellout crowd. We're very lucky. We get to play in a lot of big games, so our younger players and experienced players have had opportunities to play in games like this. But this is a really special occasion to celebrate Anzac Day and the Anzac spirit, which we're very grateful to be part of.
How do you feel you've settled? It feels like you've really settled the last few weeks, hit really good form, obviously that win over Brisbane. How well placed do you feel you are this year, maybe compared to a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I've been tempering this, to be honest, because we played Brisbane off a 5-day break for a hot game in Adelaide, and we're well aware it's very difficult to do that, and so we're tempering our energy and excitement. We're just finding where we fit. That's the reality of the home and away season. You sort of get feedback, and then obviously get tested versus opposition. So we're not sure where we sit at the minute. 7 rounds in, whatever it is, 6 rounds in, and we're here to qualify and find our path along the journey of that.
And Houston back in, I take it. Have you had any sort of conversations with him about tempering that aggression, or do you want him to keep playing the way he does? How do you balance that?
Yeah, well, I'm only sort of getting to know Dan's game, after only a couple of games now, and he plays on the edge a little bit. I'm noticing that, but we like his aggression in the game, and obviously there's rules. There's rules for a reason, so he's got to play within those. But he's a great organiser, which is maybe lost from the outside. He's an incredible organiser on the field for us, so and clearly talented with the ball in hand. We're excited to have Dan back.
Craig, just one on fan behaviour. Lockie Neal came out yesterday about online trolls. We had the incident over the weekend with the fan throwing an object, the Swan supporter. Obviously the incident with the guns being carried into the MCG. Are players concerned about safety?
If I could change one thing in the world, if I had the keys for one day, I'd make social media accountability. Like you have to show your photo ID to have an account. So John Smith is John Smith. So then you can't just go out and just put things out there, and young men and young women growing up in this day. I don't want to get into politics, but I'd love to be able to change that in the world. So then people would have less opportunities to say things or do things that they couldn't do if they had the passport or the photo ID to have an account. Hope you're listening, Albanese.
Craig, word on Jack Crisp equaling the 243 this weekend.
Yeah,
Great effort.
look, it's an incredible achievement to play that many games in a row. Like, we'll recognise it, and ideally next week, things going to plan. He breaks the record of Jim Steins, who, I grew up admiring Jim and seeing his journey. So maybe we can touch on that next week if we get to that place. But it's an incredible opportunity or incredible achievement to play that many games consecutively. It shows resilience. Shows he's obviously played injured before, clearly, because everyone does it at times, and he's been such a high performer too. So amazing, really.
Jody Elliott celebrated his 200th up in Brisbane. Will there be any celebrations at home?
For Jamie?
Yeah.
No, we'll let Jamie play his 200 first and hope it's as good as his 200. Yeah.
Just what have you made of the Bombers? They're sort of levelled out a little bit after a couple of difficult weeks.
Yeah, I think they're finding form. I watched them the last 3 games, and it's gradually getting better in a lot of parts of their game. Winning form's good form. They've won 3 in a row, and like I said before, regardless of whatever's happened, even if they hadn't won 3, this game's a different one. It's a 0 or draw. We rock up, bounce the ball, let's go. We know that, they know that, and we'll see what happens. Huh?
How far is Jordan De Goey off full fitness? Still looks not quite as explosive as he has been.
Yeah, we're well aware he's still a little way. I'm not sure exactly the timeline, but we're managing him. This is the first week he's played and trained, and I thought his training today was exciting for our fans to see. He's moving better and good. It's a work in progress, and we're playing the long game. We want Geordie to be fit and well, and ideally we get past August, but we're working through that.
Is he still at a point currently where you think about managing his minutes this week, subbing him off early, or are you now open to playing him for a full game?
Last week was certainly that. This week maybe less, but maybe next week, because we've got some short breaks coming. Again, it's a week-to-week thing. We want him to play and then train, and that's where the continuity comes, and then we'll see a better version of Geordie as the season goes on.
Craig, just sorry if I missed it. Without Darcy on the side, who will step up as the skipper this week?
We're going to work through that. I'm going to meet with the leadership group shortly, and we'll just work through that. There's Pruzzy and Nick are the vice captains, so it'll be one of those two. We'll make sure we take the guys on the journey and find out who that is.